Amir and Hassan are the main characters in Khaled Hosseini's book, an Afghan-born American novelist. He was born in Kabul, but he moved in the USA in 1980. For you, 1,000 times over. This is what the little Azara servant Hassan always says to his Pashtun friend and master Amir. Hassan and his father Ali live in the clay hut in the big home of Amir and his father Baba. Between them there is a special bond, not only because they are both motherless, but also for their strong complicity in kite fighting tournaments, in which Amir is the leader and Hassan is his loyal kite runner. Hassan can't read, so Amir loves reading books and tales to him, especially when they are under the pomegranate tree on the hill near their home. Hassan is really protective of Amir, who is said is not bold enough. In fact, Hassan had to defend him several times from bullies. Amir has a difficult relationship with his father, who thinks that his son is not strong and determined enough. For this reason, the kid wants to impress him, trying to win the kite fighting tournament that is held every year in Kabul. Amir, helped from Hassan, cuts the last kite, and while the crowd goes wild, Hassan chases the kite that have been cut down. Along the way, he runs into Asef, an older boy with German origins and with a huge admiration for Hitler, who wants at any cost Amir and Hassan kite. Hassan refuses, and Asef, with other boys, sexually assaults him. Meanwhile, Amir comes and witnesses the scene from behind a clay wall, unable to do anything. Since then, their friendship relentlessly ends. Amir, racked with guilt, doesn't want to see Hassan anymore. So, he hides in the servant's hut an expensive watch, blaming them for the theft and sending them away. Since that day, Amir won't never see Hassan again. After some time, the Taliban reach Kabul and Amir and his father are forced to flee in America. Despite having a wife and a quite happy life, Amir continues living with the guilt. But one day, the fate offers him a way to be good again. He receives a phone call from his father's friend Rami Khan, who says that Hassan and his wife have been killed by Taliban, and that his son Sorab is living in an orphanage. He also reveals that Hassan is his brother. So Amir decides to go back to Kabul, with the aim to save the life to the kid of the man that he had been betrayed years ago. When he arrives in Kabul, he finds a doomsday scenario. The war has destroyed everything. Down the streets, he can't smell anymore the sweet lamb kebab. His old house is occupied by Taliban, and he feels like a stranger in his own homeland. With the help of our Ryan Khan friends, he will be able to deal with his fears, he will fight with himself, and in the end, he will bring Sorab to America. It is wrong what they say about the past. I've learned about how you can bury it, because the past claws its way out. At the beginning of the novel, it is hard to become attached to the main character, who is described as a selfish coward. But the farther we go into the story, the more we appreciate Amir's quality and weaknesses. After all, every one of us is a bit like him. At least once, we chickened out for the fear to face a problem. We commit sins that overwhelm us. We try to bury them in the search of our conscience. But we can't bury the past. Sooner or later, it will come back, just like happened to Amir, who after 25 years had the chance to atone for his sins. His journey is cathartic, it's eye-opening, and it shows him the harsh reality, bringing him back to his homeland, that is devastated by the war and that he can barely recognize. Returning to Kabul was like running into an old forgotten friend and seeing that life hadn't been good to him, that he had become homeless and destitute. Fear, blame, forgiveness, loss, desire of redemption are themes that lives in our heart and that Hosseini analyzes with respect, but at the same time without veils or censure, telling us about things that in places like Kabul happen every day. Other current issues in this novel are discrimination and war. In Afghanistan, there are different ethnicities, like Pashtun, Tajiki, and Hazara. The Hazara are a minority, and the only race considered pure is the Pashtun. Amir is Pashtun and Hassan Hazara. Both he and his father have always been mocked within the Pashtun people living in Kabul. Still today, if we think about Afghanistan, we see a scenario of pain, despair, destruction of a whole people and their culture. It is hard to think that one day Kabul was a safe and quiet place, welcoming home of the childhood of Amir and Hassan. However, in the novel, Hosseini gives us a slice of a reality that nowadays doesn't exist anymore. The carefreeness of two Afghan kids, their way of having fun, their habits, their willingness to conquer the world, their innocence. A reality that every kid in the world should live. An innocence of a childhood that now is ripped away too early. Their reality is another thing. It is a reality that we should have fear to call reality. With the war in the background, we are showed how man's cruelty can be endless. In 2007, the German filmmaker Mark Foster adapted the novel to the namesake film. He did a really delicate job. In fact, it is really hard to reassume such an intense novel, with all its developments, in only a 2 hour film. The director has been able to maintain the places, the words, and character faces, but there are many events and particulars that he omitted. First of all was a son's hair lip. In the book, Baba, for his birthday, gives him a surgery as a present. This is a really important detail. In fact, then we discover that Hassan is his son, and it's for that reason that Baba tries to take care of him in the best way possible. Another thing that is not so clear is the difficult relationship between Amir and his father. Then, in the end of the book, Amir has to go through many hurdles to bring Sorab to America, like the bureaucracy and the attempted suicide of the kid. In the film, there is only the scene when they are at the airport. Though there are many quotes that are mentioned in the film, like, "Not a word passes between us, not because we have nothing to say, but because we don't have to say anything." Hassan couldn't read a first-grade textbook, but he'd read me plenty. It was a little unsettling, but also sort of comfortable to have someone who always knew what you needed. Kites have a really fundamental role in the novel, which begins and ends with a kite fight tournament. In the first one, the players are Amir and Hassan during their childhood. It represents their strong bond and the loyalty of Hassan that for Amir will do anything 1,000 times over. In the second one, the players are Amir and Sorab. Amir is a grown-up man, and he brought Sorab to America, who after several traumatic events has stopped talking. But during this tournament, he smiles for the first time after a long time. It was only a smile, nothing more. It didn't make everything alright. It didn't make anything alright. Only a smile, a tiny thing, a leaf in the woods, shaking in the wake of a startled bird's flight. But I'll take it with open arms, because when spring comes, it melts the snow one flake at a time, and maybe I just witnessed the first flake melting. Hosseini, through the eyes of a child, gives us different feelings, from tenderness to pain, from astonishment to anger, from love to fear, leaving us without relief, aware that the issues analyzed in the book are still current. Even a son is compared to a kite when he dies. His life of unshakable loyalty flew away like a kite in the wind. Now he is free. It is so beautiful to see how a humble thing can represent such a noble value as freedom.